Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals, they take us higher. The night's young and it's just begun as she puts her hand in mine. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be two hearts running wild. Now the morning is the afternoon. We lay awake in bed. The laughs so loud as the hours pass. We're gonna do it all again. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be, we're gonna be two hearts running wild. The moonlight, the summer sky, it was the best we ever had. And we'll stay on forever. We'll never have regrets. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's Friday. Hallelujah. It means it's weekend. For the people here in this region, at least the kids, it means there's another 2 weeks left of their summer vacation because they had the late vacation this year. So, short version of the Dutch vacation system is basically that they split summer vacations up into 3 sections and they kind of overlap one another, but they don't all have the full 6 weeks at the same time because that will create a fundamental chaos in the country. That means for me, I love this time of the year because when all the kids now have vacation, it's silent. Well, you can hear the kids playing outside because parents sometimes on vacation, but generally people go away. And that means when I do grocery shopping, the stores are nice and calm. I love it. Good morning, Rev. Good afternoon, Helle. And good morning to Jessica and Susan. Wonderful to see you guys. According to Susan, her share box is on the way. Excited. Ooh. I'm excited to hear what you guys have gotten. Let me know. Let me know. Like, feel free to share photos when you get there. Meanwhile, I finished a Binx the Bat, and I'm actually quite happy with the end result. I mean, I had a period when I was sewing it together. I was like, here in the end, I'm happy. Here she is. I can't find out if it's a he or a she. Back side, front side. Head we did well. The mouth went on easy, mouth or nose, whatever we should call it. I think it's a mouth more than a nose, but it went on super easy. I'm happy with the safety ties, definitely happy that I got those. Happy with how the purple looks. And when I was stitching on these wings, I felt I had put them a row too low on the back, so it looked like, you know, it was much more like down here. And then I went to the dentist and had my visit. That went well, actually, better than I had imagined. And I ended up inserting the row above, yeah, and took both of the wings on the following stitch. I just tied them together to kind of make the wings a little bit more closer up, which matched more the end results. So I'm actually super happy with this one. I think she's cute. He, she, it. It's cute. So, yep, Binx got complete. And then, of course, we have the Veilwyn Shawl. So that is the project for today. I was wondering still, I need to start looking at the water pearl shawl. But I think my end conclusion is I'll just bring it with me to Denmark. It's a great travel project because while I do use more skeins, it's easy to pack down. Where if I take a cake, it needs to be a project where I work from the outside in because like this one where I work from the inside out, that cake will collapse. Like I will have to put the cake in my suitcase, checked in suitcase, and I'm not gonna risk a yarn bath just because I want to bring a project with me. So whatever project I do bring, it has to be a project where I can easily, for whatever reason, pack it down easily. So, and that is probably just gonna be that shawl I'm bringing with me then. And then we'll see, if I finish this one before then, that's amazing. If I don't, we'll see. Yeah, so that's kind of the thought. Thank you for the wonderful comments in the bats. I'm super happy with how it turned out, actually. It looks like a nose to a ref. Yeah, maybe it's a nose, maybe it's, yeah, I don't know. It's cool, whatever. Nose the mouth. It's more than just two eyes. But I think it turned out super cute. I'm actually quite happy with it. I do have the lighter, like more like cerise purple, which I think I'm gonna want to test out as well. And it took about half a skein of the black to get to where I am. So yeah, maybe I'll be a little bit short, but that's maybe maximum like an ear. But about half a black skein and not that much of the purple at all. But that's not surprising because it's, yeah. So yeah, I'm happy with how it turned out. Anyhow, as we talked about the Veilwyn, I had this very gorgeous photo laid down on the flat lay, but we also have it here. As you can see, I did work on it since Monday because it is darker in the teal shade colors and it is gonna get even darker. Since they say she's happy my teeth are good, I'm happy too. They fixed a tiny thing. For years, I've had a little thing here, little dark spot, and that little dark spot they basically removed and fixed. So it's more a cosmetical fix what they did. I did concern that I may have to get not anesthesia, like an injection to numb it, a numbing injection. But we tried without, and it actually worked without. So I have like no numb mouth today at all, perhaps, except for the fact that they've been like messing around. So that made me quite happy. Of course, it also saves me like 20 euros because you don't need to pay for the anesthesia. So awesome. Let's see. We need to get you guys to the dual camera view, and then we will need to get the lighting down, I think, because it's a bit lighter project. Also, today I am with my lemonade for a very good reason. Cheers. And that is because it's a heat wave here in the Netherlands. Again, this year in the Netherlands, we have actually broken all records. That means the amount of days above 30 degrees Celsius is more than, I don't know if it's like ever before, but it's more than a very, very long time. Today it's like, when I just looked, it was 35 degrees. And it's increased even since. And we're not at the hottest yet. The hottest is going to be in like 2 or 3 hours, right? Here right now the condition is partly cloudy with a temperature of 97 degrees Fahrenheit, so 36 degrees Celsius. Wind is blowing from west at 5 miles per hour and the current humidity is 19. It's super dry and it's warm. I guess I'm happy that it's dry and warm rather than it's humid and warm now when I have to take a choice. So yeah, it is gonna get warmer. We're probably gonna hit just around 100, I think, later today. Which yeah, is no fun to be honest. Let's see if I actually can find that on the news what they were talking about this morning regarding the warmth. They had this like oh, Etna and Sicily is active, it sounds like. So many things going on today. Let's see if I can actually even find it. La, la, la. Yeah. Yeah. It is the hottest 13th of August yesterday, and it's probably going to be one of the warmest, so many whatever. Okay. Amount of days with more than 35 degrees. That's what we broke. So not a 30, but 35 degrees. And that means that earlier this year, we broke 35 degrees. 35 degrees is 95 degrees Fahrenheit-ish or so, I think. I mean, it says 1 Celsius degree less, somewhere between 95 and 96, right? And that's new record because today we had, until with today, I think we have had 8 of them. Well, 9 maybe with today, whatever. Anyhow, earlier this year, we've had it on the 19th of June, 24, 25, 26, and 27th of June. And then on the 29th of July as well, of the 3rd of August, and then again now yesterday and today. So basically, it's warm for our place of the world. The weather in Quebec is right now mostly cloudy with a temperature of 54 degrees Fahrenheit, about 12 degrees Celsius. Oh, I'll come and visit you for cooling down. Wind is blowing from northwest at 6 miles per hour and the current humidity is 91. So the benefit right now, even though it is warm, is that the nights are cold in the sense of we go down to around 60, somewhere between, like, let's say 58 to 64 degrees Celsius, not Fahrenheit. So, you know, we go down in the mid, like somewhere between 12 to 16 degrees depending on the day. So we can cool down, and that means also that in the evening, late in the evening, we can open the door and we can like get air into the house. But right now everything is shut because then I don't overheat basically. And yeah, if my boss is so kind to give me a permanent contract, we are definitely getting an air conditioning for next season. That is for sure. It is way too hot here to keep doing that, and it's more and more like it happens more and more often, right? It's not just what it used to be. It's got more common. Like the world is definitely heating up. Let's see. I might want to, because the bright is bright, but maybe it's not too bad actually. I mean, we'll have to see. If you find my hands too bright, you guys let me know. And else we'll just basically, I think, try to go with this. Yeah, that's a dawn indeed. Never gets below 80 degrees. My goodness, still too warm for me. Weather in Waco is 80 degrees Fahrenheit, so 27 degrees Celsius. Wind is blowing from south at 12 miles per hour, and the current humidity is 87. I mean, no, thank you. It's too warm for me. I think because we're usually also not really seeing often days above 30 is why air conditioning hasn't really been prioritized, but it's definitely gotten more and over the years, so it's definitely more interesting to definitely look into. Weather for New Jersey. Conditions are partly cloudy with a temperature of 72 degrees Fahrenheit, and the wind is blowing from north-northwest at 4 miles per hour, and the humidity is 90. Woo-ha. So, I just finished row 33. So we are heading into row 34. If I've done my work correctly, that means that if I moved the counter on my counting tool correct and so on. Let's just quickly see here. Looking at this, yeah, that would make sense having to go into the front posts. Okay, so we'll, as always, stack those singles. Oh, come here, stitch marker. And then we skip one. Then we need to do 2, 4, 6, 7. Yeah, okay. So we are back increasing, basically. Also, on the new end, on the skipping rope update, I've been able to do some more jumps. Now it's just a question of poor condition, I think, because I can feel my legs tiring out, and that's why I don't get the skips or the jumps when I like stop, fail, whatever. So that's a conditioning issue. So that's a question of doing it often enough, a couple of times every day, and eventually it will improve, right? But I moved from, so I did the first few days I was doing it on the grass outdoor. We have like a fake grass thing because my partner has a very horrible hay fever. So our garden has fake grass and not real grass because when people mow their lawns, he goes totally runny nose. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. But I noticed that the cord or the rope gets caught by the grass, and that's why by the seaming is that it ends sooner. It can also be it's my trousers. I'm unsure because I've also, like when I moved indoor, it's been warmer outside, so I went into shorts rather than my long trousers, and my long trousers are a bit more wide in the legs, so that could definitely also, of course, have an impact on that. But I am generally pleased with being doing more. I mean, before it was like, yay, I did 4 and then I crashed, or I did 3 and then I crashed, and now I do like on a good round, I do like 20 plus maybe. Let's see, I need to probably do like one in between, don't I? Yeah. So I have one left. And then we chain. Oh, 1, 2, 3. I need to single crochet into the space here. 1, 2, 3. And then we only skip 1 and continue. So that's easy enough. That's easy enough. Good. Susan says she sent a picture of the sock she made with the 2017 non-wool sock yarn. Love the patterning, but I'm going to frog it because I don't like acrylic socks. It's also too small. Acrylic socks doesn't sound like very breathable. I would say you would need either wool or maybe cotton. Some cotton blends can actually do quite nice socks. I felt the hobby sock yarn, and that felt awesome in cotton. That's the summer sock yarn. But it's pricey, and I don't necessarily keen on the colors. Um, do, do, do. Yeah. I'm being offered work actually, but I'm not really sure if I want to do it. That's the bottom line of it. And the sense of it's just a temp, tiny temp contract, which is like it's like a translation task back from the old days. But I'm like, I don't really want to. Here is Susan's sock. Wool-free sock yarn. Looks a bit short indeed. Somehow in the foot. But I do like the colors of it. It's like both Christmas and summer friendly in one go. So I really like the colors of it. Definitely do. Now, when we were talking about summer sock yarns, let's see. Of course, this is Premier's. I can't see. Oh, specs up here. 93% acrylic. Oh, can we zoom this? Yeah, we can. So it is 50 grams to 215 meters or 235 yards. It's 93% acrylic and 7%. I have no idea what PBT is. That sounds very synthetic. I would guess like stretch material of some kind. Anyhow, it looks nice. So what I wanted to say, they did have their summer sock yarn. They also have other sock yarns, but there's summer sock yarn. They also have many, many, many other interesting ones. These are wool. I'm trying to find the summer socks. Christmas yarns. Scary yarns. Here, summer socks. Because this is 58% cotton, 38% polyamide, and 4% polyester. So it still has some level of synthetic fibers, but it has a lot more cotton in it. So I think that's nicer if you don't want wool. And they do have some nice colors in between. I mean, it's not bad. Very, very summery, some of them. This one I quite like. This isn't bad either. Here is them worked up. Can get an idea. So they stripe, I guess, is the short version of it. But yeah. That will be their summer sock yarn. So I think that's interesting for something that's not necessarily 100% like if it's not wool. I think that's the only alternative I know. But apparently this one acrylic, that's the first time I hear that as a full acrylic option. Now you gave up on it, just finished it up. Yeah, now you're frocking it. Probably some kind of nylon, probably. Or maybe it's some kind of elasticity. Maybe one day Susan will get to try the cotton blends. Yeah, maybe, who knows, one day. I mean, the challenge right now of these sock yarns is definitely the fact that, like, even if I would grab one for sale right now, there are €6 a piece, so they're not exactly cheap. Oh, be aware this product is disappearing from the assortment. Oh my goodness. So they're even gonna remove them. What's that for bullcrap? But I wanted to see where it was produced, but it doesn't actually say here. Which is a shame. I mean, if it's made in India, it's gonna be like freaking fortune to send to the US. I think actually that maybe is it Lana Grossa who has in cottons too. Give me one moment. We'll just pop over for sock yarn sakes on Linda Hobby. And I'm gonna put in a stitch marker. We're not really getting to crochet today, but we're talking yarn. Yarn is also fun. Yarn doesn't mean buying, huh? Sock yarns, and we can actually see here wool, alpaca, wool mix. I actually have some black socks in this. It's wonderful soft. Wool, 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 more wool. But this is this thicker one is actually less wool, but acrylic nylon combined, which is interesting. Wool, Swedish wool, wool, more wool, 100% wool. This is an alternative one. They make it's 70% biological wool, so like the sheep has not been allowed to get sort of weird stuff, and no pesticides has been used, and all that. So like extra organic wool basically, even though we would want to think wool's organic. And then it is 30% nettles, so nettle fibers. I think that's pretty interesting way of doing it. Then we have superwash wool, more wool, but combined with bamboo and polyamide. So it's only 50% wool and then 55% bamboo and 25% polyamide. I think that's super interesting. I don't know how further that works up. 40% wool, 40% acrylic, and 20% nylon. The Norgesrakken from a Viking. The vintage here is still wool. I had hoped that they had something non-woolly. Alpaca. This is recycled polyester combined with recycled alpaca, so that's actually not too bad. This here. But you are iffy $20 further probably. 70% cotton and 30% viscose. So that's actually not wool, because viscose is bamboo, right? Wool, more wool, different with the nettles. Wool, 100% polyamide, but it is to help run together with 100% wool, if I remember that correct, because it's to like improve improve the strength of the yarn. So you line it with it, combined with it. More wool. It's really a woolen aspect of getting into wanting to do this. This is acrylic bamboo polyester. So that's actually also non-wool wool. They have some really gorgeous mixtures here from creme cushion wool, I have to say. Woohoo. This is also wool, more wool, 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 superwash wool, bamboo, but it's like wool bamboo. Wool tencel. Tencel is also tree, wool made from tree. Cotton, partly wool, so it's cotton wool combo actually. But it's not non-animal fiber, if that's the only goal here. Much wool, more wool. Cashmere. But that's also animal, basically. Wool. I think we're getting to the point where there's not much wool left. Let's see. Wool. All of them are wools. Okay, so we have three yarns who's not 100% wool. Some of them are really cool patterns, I do agree, or have some really nice yarns. Susan's only knitted 5 pair of socks, and she's still learning. It is the word wool starting to lose its meaning to anyone else. Yeah. And the fun thing is, here in the Netherlands, when they are talking about skeins, many people just call them wools as well. Like generally, skeins of yarn, wool, and I'm like, it's wrong because it's wool when it's from a sheep. When it's animal fibers, we can talk about wool, not when it's acrylic or cotton or whatever in between. But yeah, so this is a Yabo bamboo reki, and they are 100 grams, so 3.5 ounces to 400 meters, so about 430 yards. Oh, it is wool because they're still partially mixed, right? 50% superwash wool, 25% bamboo, and 25% polyamide. So it's not completely animal free. But they only come in these 5 colors. So it's not completely wool free, which I thought it was. This is also not wool free because it's alpaca, but it's not wool in that sense. Damn. I thought it was cotton, but it's alpaca. I read it wrong. How can I mix cotton and alpaca into one another? Should be impossible. It's gorgeous though. See, some of the really nice colors. Oh, this one is a nice green, like a nice olive one, or turquoise blue. I mean, it's gorgeous yarn, but it's expensive, I'd say. And then we have the Yabo Soft Reki, which is a thicker yarn, even though they still say 3mm needles here. But it is 65% premium microacrylic, 35% bamboo, and 5% polyester. I'm surprised they don't actually have a cotton sock yarn, like 100% like or more higher percentage cotton, because this is also like it's kind of the same. If you know what I mean. This is though rather shiny colors, but they seem rather like baby alike, soft, like squishy. But basically they advertise it here. It's completely wool-free and therefore suitable for veganists, people that doesn't do anything that's animal related at all. Like, yeah, that's, I guess, also a way to advertise your things. But I am back to the sock yarn. It's probably the only I've really seen in cotton. I think it's a nice idea. Why aren't there more cotton sock yarns? I mean, really? Yeah, it's just alpaca. But I mean, how can alpaca turn into wool when I was like looking through the first bit? I don't know. Maybe I'm not supposed to know. But yeah, I'm sure the water is even lower because rain is kind of far away. And yet, I did see we had chance. If they didn't change, we should still have a chance of rain this weekend. Yeah, tomorrow, 45% chance on rain. Will it rain? Probably not. But yeah, tomorrow there's a minor chance of rain, but I think it's probably not going to rain. And then Sunday was also supposed to be a chance of rain. And I have a feeling it's just going to stay away because now it says 0% chance Sunday. I mean, we could really use rain. I never thought I asked for rain, but I mean, I'm not even a farmer. But this is really worth crying for. The amount of rains we've had this year is not much. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Cotton doesn't stretch, so not great for knitting socks. Yeah, but I guess if you ensure it has enough like polyamide or nylon or something in it, that kind of helps it stretch a bit. I don't know. I mean, I got one of those like a long, long time ago. 3 years ago, I got this absolutely awesome oh, what is it called? Happy Mail from the US, and that had a skein of sock yarn, and that was not wool at all. And I do believe we already gone through it in my stash on my Ravelry. So let me just pop in and check. My stash. But I only have like one skein of it, so. Oh, I got way too much yarn. I'm not even finished stashing it. Here. I got a so-called Cozy Toes. Here you go. I got this one as a gift. From Yarnbee, Cozy Toes from Yarnbee, but it's 93% acrylic and 7% polyester, so it's kind of like the same. It's not cotton, but it's not wool either. I just mean acrylic doesn't really consume, if I may say that, or absorb is the better word, absorb moist from your feet. So acrylic socks is just not that friendly. But I got one of those skeins, no idea what I'm gonna make from it. It feels soft though. But I have one skein of this. And if you have any suggestions as to what you think I should make with it, let me know. I mean, it's one skein, so I am rather limited in the amount of options I have. One skein, 50 grams to 190 meters, so it is not an awful lot of yarn. But as I said, if you have a suggestion, feel free. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. I had to frock a row back, by the way, as well. Half a row, because I had apparently forgotten 6 stitches. But I mean, how can one forget 6 stitches? So I had to frock like a row back, because I first realized once I got there, and that was about a row further. Doesn't matter, it's fixed. That's what's most important. Now it's doing what it's supposed to do. 2, 4, 6, 7, plus the 2 on top. I can crochet a skinny scarf. Yeah? Maybe I could, yeah, with a little amount. I don't know. It's gonna be very skinny. 2, 3, but it is soft, so. Tomorrow is apparently the International Granny Square Day, so I am supposed to find a granny square and make it, I guess. Except I don't really have a project lined up with granny squares. Sorry. Monday, I'll be here with a sort my stash video. One more of many. I am slowly getting everything sorted. I am closer to the end, I think, than I was a while ago. But I mean, there's still quite some yarn to go through and store and stash. And the real challenge is it's not so much recording the videos. That's and stuff like that. That's okay, fast enough. But stashing the yarn, oh my goodness, especially when it's yarns that is no longer like vintage yarns. I need to find the photos, or I need to take photos and stuff like that. I am apparently tired today. TL Yankra have one fun scarf tutorial called Bernie. I could give it a look. In another crochet group, we're all making banana themed squares, sending them to Lana Banana so she can make friendship blanket. Everyone else is doing yellows and oranges. Okay. That's kind of cool though. 2, 3. Okay, and also I got the Shopify fixed. I've got my web shop fixed, which means no, they are not listed as sold out. I realized what the issue was. It took me half an hour to figure it out though. But now I know why, and that means that for the future I can keep that in mind. There should be an easier way to do things, but yeah, okay, I figured out the issue. Why those colors? Well, the yellow, I guess, for the banana. Orange, I wouldn't know. I remember, what is she called again? She's also on YouTube, but she moved most of it to Patreon. Jenna Phipps from Canada. Before she started house renovating, because that really made her take off, right? But before she started on all the house renovating, she once had people crochet flowers and sent to her, and she made this huge crochet flower dress where she sewed all the flowers on top of some fabric, which I think was a pretty cool idea. Red bananas. Ooh. Indeed, red bananas. I did not know that red bananas was an option. Red bananas from Ecuador. Smaller and sweeter than conventional yellow bananas. Red bananas are popular across Central South America. High levels of beta carotene, blah, blah, blah. It does look, because the thing is, the finger here is very... Right, so I wonder to what extent this is, because it also has yellow peel here. It seems like AI to me. But I don't know. Maybe not. Yeah, that's a question if red bananas is real, right? Because I suspect it could be AI made stuff. Okay, they are real. Wow. Who would have thought red bananas was a real thing? Two, 4, 6, 8, 9. I don't know if I would have, but yeah. It still looks like they are painted though. here at Instacart. But maybe they do look slightly less fake than the others. But yeah. I am also the type that rather eat green bananas than yellow bananas because I think when they get too ripe, they're not that tasty. Maybe it's because they get too sweet, but with many things, I don't like it when it's too ripe. So yeah, I guess it's not too big a surprise that bananas aren't my yay thing either. When it's too ripe, that is. I do like bananas in general. Generally speaking, I do like bananas. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. I might like plantains. I know I like them baked. So one of the things at the Olympics is that you have one big canteen that needs to serve like 10,000 people, basically. And in London, they had every world area, like every region of the world, kind of had there. So we had European kitchen. You had so in the European kitchen, you would have anything from pasta to steaks and stews and stuff like that, like English/Italian and so on. And then you would have Asian would be like generally rice and noodles and sushis and stuff like that. Bit spicy. You would have North America, you would have South America, and Africa. And the African continent also had the baked or fried plantains, and they were pretty good. Not bad at all. The Asian kitchen had they had nuts coated with wasabi. That was definitely not a hit. I mean, no, thank you. They also had, of course, McDonald's because they are official sponsors. So you can basically walk there and go and ask them for mac cheese or something like that, and you would just get it. Part of me is sad I couldn't stay longer. Part of me is happy. I mean, it was quite noisy in the sense of obtaining food because it was like lots of people. And the downside was like I have to go from our apartment complex to the tent, which was like a 10 minutes walk before we could go to the bus to the venue. And so it was all like extra transport, which just caused us to get extra up early unless you didn't need food. Yeah, food is kind of a thing. Something nice it is. They're more starchy than sweet. Fried plantains are really good. Yeah, they are really good. I will agree on that. I did get my groceries done yesterday and I bought extra ingredients because I am gonna attempt making a new sort of it's not a coleslaw, but it is a cold salad, which we are gonna bring to the barbecue, and it is based on a recipe that I got from my partner's cousin in New Zealand because I remembered us enjoying that coleslaw when we were there. So I'm gonna attempt to make that and bring with us tomorrow. Mainly because I know it's something I like, and then I am ensured to have some greenery at the barbecue. Dutch barbecues aren't really good at neutral salads. They kind of tend to do meaty salads, which I can't really relate as a salad, but they're like, yeah, but it's not like, and I'm like, no, give me some greens, please. Barbecue. Do you mean barbecue or grilled burgers and sausages? Well, barbecue in the sense of we are going to put meat on a barbecue with coal and heat and fry them on that or bake them on that. Cooking outside barbecue. So not barbecue taste, but barbecue in general, as a general term for various types of meat that can go on them, including ribs and burgers and sausages and whatnot. Yeah, grilling. That's I would call a barbecue. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. But that sounds like it's the wrong term. What I also remember is now when we are talking 2012, we had 2 weeks prior to the game, the American team came over and they stayed with us in Denmark, in Copenhagen, so they could practice and get over the jet lag, because Denmark was super interesting compared to the London Olympics, as it allowed them to fly back in less than 2 hours. So it was a very quick commute and only 1 hour time difference. And I remember one of the evenings they wanted to do barbecue on the range. So I was asked if I could go help them do some groceries, which we did. So we went and we bought like a crate of corn and a bunch of butter and stuff like that, so they could do a real grilling, not barbecuing. Barbecue is no direct heat, cooked low and slow with smoke. Barbecue takes 6 to 12 hours. Yeah, okay, then we definitely have different opinion. Or like I'm like, it's just outside on a grill, which in my optics classify as a barbecue. I can hear it does not at your end. There is a color change. Look. You barely just can't see the color change because the color difference between the teals are quite low, or quite little. It is getting ever so darker, so we are now heading into, I think, two strands and 2 strands by the look. Yeah, 2 strands of each. So you can't see it here when it went from the darker light to the darker, but the 2 teals, the color difference between those is quite little. Let's see here. I do have 9, I think. 2, 4, 6. Yeah, I do. But yeah, then I learned something. So apparently barbecue that's more for like if you do like pulled pork and stuff like that, because that takes forever. Yeah, no. Then it's, I guess, grilling. But they call it barbecue here in Europe. Because I guess then people don't know better or something. I see my ends, not happy. I will probably need to cut those ends just because it will likely make me go nuts, because the nut was a big. So we will just trim those ends a bit so it seems a bit less. Yeah, that's better. Not much. Pulled pork ribs are more like 3 to 4 hours. Brisket, whole hog. Oh, what's really good, and that is ages since I've had that, is a this sounds crazy when I'm translating, but I'm gonna try my best. A full fried piglet. I'm just gonna revert this to Danish, being saying helstegt pattegris, which is basically not like a small piglet, but it's like somewhere between a piglet and a full-grown pig, like half the size in between. And they would basically cut it open and they would throw the whole pig on like a closed barbecue thing, and they would go for hours and hours to get the whole thing tender. A suckling pig, yeah, but whole roasted. Um, let's see, can I actually find maybe a nice photo of something? Yeah, here we go. Popping over. This is Danish classic. And usually it goes into like, if you look like this, it will go into this closed thingy. But often it would though go in something that turns it because it makes it a bit easier. Oh, it's freaking tasty, by the way. Now I get really in the mood for this is a bit more common concept. Or so it's like fully roasted baking round, and it takes hours. It's like a whole day project. Last time I had this was at a friend's birthday party. He turned 40, and or was it at my cousin's birthday party? But I have the idea that my other friend probably is he older or younger? I don't know anymore. Um, but I borrowed the car and I drove all the way to Denmark, at least for my friends. He was in southern part, so it wasn't the longest drive, but it was long enough, and we enjoyed that in the evening. And the next morning I drove all the way back home. That was good. But I wonder if my cousin did it too when he became 40 a couple of years ago, many years ago these days. Because time really does fly. He's from, that's like 7 years ago now. That might have been later then. But yeah, that's nice, by the way. That is really tasty. Now I'm in the mood. But yeah, obviously you would need quite a party to make that for dinner, because that is a lot of food. I mean, if you have enough visitors, you can pull off that. No way! My mom said they got it at the baptizing. So my younger cousin, I wouldn't say the youngest because that she's not, but one of the cousins on my father's side, they just got their youngest son, the third, baptized. And apparently they had the whole grilled suckling. Oh my goodness, I'm freaking jealous. I should have been there. I should have found time to go to Denmark just to enjoy some nice roast pig. Gee, I get all hungry now. I mean, that's delicious. American have opinions too many on barbecue. Yeah, I guess it also depends on what state you're in then. It's like politics. It's dangerous, right? Because nobody are agreeing on everything. But that pig is a long roast thing. Um, it takes hours and hours and hours. Um, I don't know how long it takes, but I guess I can find out because now I'm curious. But yeah, some of them are like at least 25 people if they're like provided and such. Jesus. No. I'm curious. Yeah, heel sticks, pedigrees. I don't know because I'm not a cook. Guide. If it's only 8 kilos, it's 4 to 5 hours. I guess the bigger it is, the longer it takes. Others say 8 hours. So basically it depends on the size of the pig. That would be the short version of it all. Ooh, thank you, Rev. Rev just donated a membership, and Jan the Therapy with Ruth were the lucky winners. So let's celebrate our members. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Very much appreciated. Ever so much the support. Thank you. So yeah, I guess it's barbecue is almost a political subject because of all the different opinions on what's what all over the world. But I remember I got it more often as a kid when we went to family events, especially on my dad's side. They are quite good at doing it. In comparison, that is, to my mom's side of the family. But I think it's also because my dad's side of the family is a bit bigger. They have and know more people. I may need to keep track here because we are heading up to the end. So I may just need to have to quickly give the pattern a sneak peek to ensure that my next steps are indeed the correct steps. But I am suspecting that I need to insert a back post, and then the last stitch I just need to do a repeat until one stitch before the middle. Then correct. Okay, so we need to have a back post to prep for the future rows. It's to keep this bit increasing and growing as the tip goes further down. I think it's cool. I like this pattern actually. It's nice. It's a nice pattern to work up. And it definitely needs blocking. I felt that when I was taking the flat lay photo for this stream. I had to give it a few stretches and tucks to make sure it didn't curl completely up. It's mainly the big tips, like up here, they tend to curve a bit if they don't get blocked. But the whole shawl here will just benefit from a block because of the texture of it. Good morning, Lisa. We've been chit-chatting about sock yarn earlier today, and then we went into the world of barbecue and lovely eedy meaty stuff. Hope you had a great morning so far. So in 16 days time, I will be traveling to Denmark. And meanwhile, my mom also got the times and the scheduling for her follow-up consultation with the doctor as well as the scans. But that's first going to be like the consultation, I believe, is in November. So I am going to see if I can maybe somehow coordinate my travels to make that fit. That would be nice, I think. Then there's one in February, but February is just a nightmare month for me right now, so it depends on what everything else goes on. And Lisa, I also finished the Batty Bat Binx, Binx the Bat. And I think it's turned out gorgeous. Sock yarn, yes, we've been talking sock yarns because Susan has been working with some sock yarn, but she's gonna frog it. And we were trying to find sock yarns that were not like they were also had a high level of cotton in them. There wasn't that many actually. I think the Hobbies summer sock yarn is probably the best so far with content levels, matter of speaking. So yeah, most of them have wool in them for obvious reasons. Anyhow, like her or him, it. Binx is an it because I don't know if it's a he or she. It didn't say. Tell me. It can flap its wings, it can curl them down, and they can cover one another and be cute. And they are nicely sewn on here on the back. As I told them earlier, is the only thing I ended up doing an extra stitch up here on top of the wings to kind of put them a little bit closer to the face, because in the beginning they were a little bit more like down than up. So I felt that kind of made the look. I am definitely not regretting I did that. So and it's about half a skein of black and a bit of purple. So I'm thinking I want to take the lighter color I have and make another one. I think that would be nice. I'll just have to check what I have for eyes, for backings and so on. But Binx turned out nice. Ariane related problem yesterday. I finished half the squares for my blanket. They were supposed to block 9 inches. Mine are 11.5. If I make the blanket, it will be 7 by 5. Oh, wow. But you know, Lisa, that's not necessarily bad unless you want to make sure it goes into the baby carrier, because then the child can use it for longer before they grow out of it. I mean, let's look at the bright side of things. Always find something positive, then it's useful for longer. Thank you. Agreed with Rev. A bigger blanket is not the worst. Like it's worse if it's like if it turned out smaller than anticipated. Oh, Pleta has also been sending me temptations when it comes to getting yarn. But I've not ordered any. I mean, I'm still a good girl. But of course, I did check their crochet cotton yarns just in case. Okay, that put this old and dumb joke in my head, so now I must inflict you all. British cooking is known to be terrible, but German cooking is the worst. Yeah. Well, that's lovely. Ah, that's actually a bit hilarious. But I'm not sure if I'll agree though, but because Germany makes some really, really nice schnitzels. And oh my goodness, if you can ever get to taste, like if you ever travel to the southern part, like to Bayern, you need to try out their Schweinhaxe. Oh my goodness, that's like a pork lump. It's a bit of the leg. I'm wondering what that would translate to. Uh, let's see. Yeah, well, no. Schweinhaxe. Pork knuckle. It's like a roasted pork knuckle, but as in it's, yeah. I think they put it in the oven actually. That's, and then with gravy and knödel and alles. Oh, now I feel like actually wanting to go to Germany on a trip. And a good excuse to go to Germany on a trip would be for me to shred those many pounds, and then I would need a new kit, shooting kit, and then I could go to Germany on a mini vacation and say, "Hey, honey, do you want to join?" Like that, I could definitely see happening. So quite sure we enter this with just skipping one. Let's see. Da-da-dum. Skip one. Indeed. Oh. Pleta has also been harassing Lisa. I know, right? I mean, it's tempting us, but I've not ordered anything. I actually have been really, really good at not visiting. Well, I have visited the site, but at not getting anything. I don't think I've made a Pleta order from Pleta for 2 years almost, which means that my stash is just like looking at me, laughing at me, being like, "Ah, you're still not using us." Yeah. Well, I asked my German roommate if he knew what 3 was, and he said no, exactly 9. 9. 9. It's actually 9, auch nicht 9, aber 9. But it's 9 in English, but it's 9 in German. 2, 4, 6. But 9 would be also spelled differently, but pronounced the same as yes, no. Yeah, I get it. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. 9, not 9. Lisa's waiting for the anniversary cakes from Karen. We also just had a color change, by the way. These are like 10 minutes before you joined, maybe less. But you can barely see the color change. You can just see where the yarn nuts is because these two teal colors, like I need to look really careful at them to see the color difference here. Your son want a blanket that he brings with him when he goes all the way to Mexico. I mean, it sounded like he was pretty decided on wanting to take a school year down here there, right? Like as an exchange. Two, 4, 6, 8, 9. 2, 3. But yeah, so we are just cracking along on the rows here, and we'll see where it ends. But as I said, this shawl definitely needs a nice little blocking that will make wonders for it. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. That trip got delayed a year due to some logistical stuff, but that blanket won't go there. It would be far too hot. Where he wants to go is ridiculously hot. Well, it's ridiculously hot here. I mean, I think we might have hit 100 degrees Fahrenheit now. We are in our high 30s today. It was 36 degrees like an hour ago, so I assume we are hitting like 37 now, probably. Because we are having another heat wave. Hallelujah. Oh, it doesn't say according to this, but I'm tempted to go over and look. Right now, it still claims to be 36 degrees Celsius and 97 degrees Fahrenheit, which I think is ridiculous hot as well. Meanwhile, though, the humidity has decreased another 2%. It is just 17 now, and it is, though, there are winds once in a while. It says it blows more than it is. Like, I can see things move, but it's not like windy. Yeah, welcome to my life. The good thing is that it is reasonably cooling off in the evening, which means that we can still keep an okay temperature here indoor. It's like 10 to 12 degrees colder indoor than it is outdoor. So that's nice, at least. Look on the bright side of life. Monty Python does pop into my thoughts quite some often when we are thinking about bright things. But yeah, where he wants to go, it's not abnormal for it to reach 40 degrees, and it's right on the coast, so it's always humid, like the school is on oceanfront property. Jesus. Did he actually think about it before he chose the place? Like, I mean, that sounds hot indeed. But that means that you do have him home for another year before he leaves you. 2, 4, 6. Here they have another 2 weeks of school vacation left, and then every kid's heading back to school. I just enjoy the quietness of the region. So I go back when everybody goes back to school. Then I travel to Denmark being like, yay. Hopefully it's going to be fine. You've been there before? Lots of friends that work on the school. Yeah, that's a good thing then. I'll personally say I'd love to go back to New Zealand. That weather was wonderful. Like, generally not too warm. The weather for Puerto Escondido in Mexico. The weather for is a fair with a temperature of 56 degrees Fahrenheit, 30 degrees Celsius. Wind is blowing from west-southwest at 8 miles per hour, and the current in mid-sea is 84. Yeah, well, it's morning, right? It's early there, I guess. So generally, it's always cooler in the morning. That sounds like our night temperature these days, even though we are hoovering hot in the over the day. We are gonna cool down tomorrow. It's gonna the temperature is gonna drop like 10 degrees for tomorrow, almost 8. Maybe they had rain just passing or something. I don't know. Who knows? It's also slowly coming to be hurricane season, isn't it? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. I mean, that's usually here in the autumn. Then I keep getting offers on flight tickets. Like I can fly to Toronto from just 400 euros, which I think is insane. I'm almost tempted, but I mean I don't really have time to be away for longer periods, so it's not really convenient. Four, 6, 9. I've been there where the only place you're dry from sweat is where the antiperspirant is. That is standing in the shade. Oh my goodness. Yeah, no fun. Please. Like, why does people intentionally seek up insane heats? Why does people? But it's the same. Like, why do people seek up intense cold? What the perfect place? You know, it has to rain in the night so it doesn't dry out. Has to be dry in the day. The summer not too warm, the winter not too cold. In between in the autumn and spring, you have the perfect weather location, but it's not happening like that. I mean, no animals that want to kill you. I remember, so when we had arrived to New Zealand and my partner's family picked us up, one of the first questions I had in the car is, are there any animals here in New Zealand that wants to kill me? Nope, there is not. In worst case, it might bite or something like that, and that will be ouch, but it will not kill you. Okay, good. And then 3 days later or something like that, just a couple of days later, I woke up in the morning and I needed to get out of bed to go to the toilet, and I put my foot on the ground, but it was still like pretty dark. They had like some really good darkness curtains, like to close out the dark, and or sleeping curtains, whatever you want to call it. And when I just had put my one foot on the ground, I felt like legs like sort of cramping around my toe, and I shocked because I had no, like, I knew it's not gonna kill me, but the feeling of it just shocked me. And apparently, because the animal that touched me was also dying on its own, um, but it was a veta. A veta is like a grasshopper-like beast, but not a grasshopper either. And Vetas only live in New Zealand and they have a certain amount of them. And outside of that, that's like some of them are more rare than others. And technically, you aren't actually allowed to kill them. But they are like native species to New Zealand of insects. But I just remember I was freaking shocked. And of course, I couldn't see much because I didn't have my contact lenses in. So it was just that feeling. So I was just very shocked. And, I was shocked so badly that even my partner woke up. And I'm like, there is something on the floor. I couldn't see much. So yeah, wonderful. Roca Blanca. Oh, not this one. Not this one. This one. That looks like lots of kids, to be honest, or lots of people. A little bit about us. Da-da. Sponsor, student, donate, our story, our mission, ministries. Oh, but that's nice. I think it's good to exchange experiences and cultures. One of the reasons is I think there are too many people who's not open for alternatives, and I personally think that um, people who act racistic with racism towards others is because they do not take the time to try to understand the other culture. Um, and just because you do have a different culture does not necessarily mean that you're a terrorist or that you're trying to take away the jobs from the locals or whatnot, or whatever reasons people have for not liking a specific group of ethnic people. I think we all need to be open for one another, and like we have recently gotten one of these refugee or immigrant centers for groups of people who seek asylum in the Netherlands, a couple of kilometers here out of town. And a lot of locals didn't want them because, oh my goodness, we had such a peaceful city and they don't want any thieves to come and all these, like, whatever reasons they have. Or they won't fit into our culture and blah, 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 blah. Many reasons. And personally, I'm like, think about if you were in the same situation that they were, that you were a citizen of a country at war. Could be many other reasons, of course, but then you need to flee somewhere. And if all countries then would act towards you like you're acting towards them because you don't like the fact that they are different than you, then nobody would receive you either, should you ever need a similar situation. So, what's wrong with people nowadays? You know, I don't know if you understand what I mean. I mean, it's, yeah, let's be open and try to understand and at least respect and give people space. Get to understand them. Try to understand them before you judge people. Oh, I see my chat has gotten back to the top chat. I hate when that happens. Every race, religion, culture has crappy people indeed, but most people are just trying to survive and make a decent life for the family. We all want good lives for our family, don't we? Like, it would be weird if we wouldn't. But I also think a lot of people go yeah, people can also be jealous, right, of success. Jealousy is really a nasty thing. Um, so sometimes that's also an issue if people are jealous of others. And that's not going to help anyone either. Um, Jealousy is something that I've experienced lots of within shooting sports, or just sports in general, because doing sports, especially top sport, is very political, right? Um, Even if you want it or not, because many of us do it for the love of the sport. But it's like there is this, why do they have this? I want that too. Jealousy. I can imagine these days, right now, actively, there is the European Championships for dressage, and like the World Equestrian Games is in Aachen, so it's about 2 hours drive from here. And horses is expensive. I do not need to explain how expensive horses are. But I mean, I'm sure there are also in that world the level of jealousy because especially amongst children, right? Like, oh, but my good friend got this new fancy horse for X amount of thousand, and I didn't, but I wanted it because I think I deserve it more than she does, blah blah blah. And then there's a jealousy based on material things, would be, if we should call a horse a material thing, but it could also be, you could also compare it to kids just in school, right? Kids going to high school in the US, some kids get a car from the parents and some don't. And the kids that doesn't get a car are likely at some point going to be somewhat jealous on the kids that does get a car from their parents. It's kind of the same shizzle. Lisa's experienced lots of jealousy since they bought the business from your father-in-law. I have to remind people you don't know or don't you if you don't know or want the invoice that we have to pay for it. Nope, likely not. I mean, you didn't get it. I guess you're paying for it, right? So I think that's what people forget. But it's the same as people have. It's like, people with big farms assuming, yeah, but you just inherited it. Yeah, but inheritance tax? Like, these days it happens less and less because their inheritance tax is outrageous. Like, people can't even pay the actual value in inheritance taxes. Um, that's a whole different level of getting farms to go bankrupt. Um, and the same would, I guess, go for companies as well. Like, it's taking blood, sweat, and tears to build something. And just because you assume that, oh, but you have 20 employees, then you have to be rich, does not necessarily mean that you are. If that made any remote sense. Ah, do do. Mm-mm. There, I guess you are. I'm just gonna keep track on stuffs. Huh? Ah, yeah, okay, then I understand that's not what I was looking for. Um, This is the one. Sorry. I should have known. Okay, so 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Need more yarn. And we need to turn soon. Ooh. Which means that we are finishing row 34. That is awesome. That is awesome. Oh. Okay, another 8 stitches. Paying a lot of money. Most people stomach being in debt for. Yeah, I mean, you're gonna make money, but it's gonna cost money to make money. We've paid a lot already and still owe multiple millions. So people think it just gets for granted, right? Like, yeah, that's wrong too. I admit there's like jealousy, but I think jealousy is not necessarily bad as long as you can admit to being jealous, as in jealous in the way like you would like it for yourself, but not in a jealous way that's hurting and damning. I mean, I can be jealous of people who's worked so much that they can retire early. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. I will admit a jealousy to that. Um, Not necessarily because I want to retire early, but the ability to just do whatever you want and not being forced to have to work. That seems the ultimate goal um, for when I get older. Because right now I don't have enough money to retire yet. I mean, nope. I'm afraid I'll have to work quite a few years to go. Okay, so we just finished row 34. Counting, keeping track, which means that we are on row 35 and we'll start by the classic stacking of single crochets as always. It's kind of a repeating thing for me to say that I'm doing it, but I am for those that may not have been with us before. I don't know if we have people unknown to us. Come and say hello if you're new to the chat, because we do like saying hello to new people. This is an absolutely wonderful chat where we chit chat about everything between heaven and earth and we craft together. It is the local crafting club, stitch club, whatever you want to call it. You don't need to crochet, you may also knit or do whatever other craft and just want to hang out and be in company with us. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. That should fit. Yeah. So then let's skip 2. Which is fine because it wouldn't have been fair to Hubby's siblings if we have been giving the business. Nope, definitely not. They would need a fair share of it too, I guess. Or in any case, then his parents got the money, and then eventually at some stage when they pass away, they will all earn a split inheritance. Like, I guess that comes down to the same. So, yeah. He wants to retire in 10 years. I hope he will be able to. That would be awesome. I mean, anyone who can manage to do that, that's amazing. I said so far that I want to try to retire when my partner retires. But I will definitely need to do math and calculations before I'm able to do that. And I don't think I'd retire fully in that event because, I mean, it's 2, 4, 6, 8. Oh, I did stitch too many. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Better. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So yeah, I think that would be freaking awesome to be able to retire before the official retirement age. I'm supposed to be 68 some years, like almost 69, 68 and a half ish, before I can retire, according to the current estimate, but it's not a guaranteed estimate. I will first know like 5 years before my official retirement. So there's that. Two, 4, 6. I do it again. It's because I just did the only skip 1. I need to skip 2. Skip 2, skip 2, skip 2, Stina. Luckily it was only an 8 stitches to frog. I can feel it's getting warmer here, which means that I think I am gonna undress a bit. I mean, it was a bit cooler earlier, but now I can feel the warmth is slowly also getting into the house. Ugh, sucks. So that is what I'm gonna do. Choo choo. This might be enough. Might not be. We'll have to see. Okay, so 2, 4, 6, 7 plus 2 is 9. You know how some people are? Yes! Yes! And keep in mind, hubby has been running the company for nearly a decade before we even bought it. Also not to forget. But people are jealous on things they want but can't get. You know, the grass is greener on the other side of the fence. So I guess, you know, people are jealous of what they want but cannot get or have. Will I be jealous if people can retire early? Yes, I will. But I also think they deserve it if they worked hard for it to be able to do so. Right? Like, it's more like I wish it was me kind of jealousy. Not that's a I'm so jealous that I'm going to say all sort of nasty stuff because I think it's totally unfair that you can do that and I cannot. Example wise. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. So it's yeah, I respect it and understand it, but it's definitely a wish. Like, I'd love to be able to do that myself. One, two, three. Oh my goodness. It is why the get rich quick scam has worked for so long. Yeah, worked for those that makes the scams and not so much for those that's trying them out. I think the best way to quote unquote get rich is to make sure that you earn more than you spend, basically. And that should not be done by stealing or leading people into nasty decisions. Healthy jealousy is good for pushing us to do more or better. The problem is when it becomes envy. Yes, yes. That's probably, yeah, the understanding and the respecting way of jealousy is much better than the envious part. Like, I'm envious and I'm so envious that I get blue in my face that you've made it so far and I didn't. Whatever. 4, 6, 8, 9. So, but yeah, I'm working on it. I'm definitely not spending as much as I earn, so that's positive. I mean, but on the other hand, I also spent 10 years earning more or less nothing because I did top sport. So I'm now catching up on my lack of income from earlier in life. To 4, 6, 8. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. Skip 2. Oh my goodness, this is was a bit challenging to catch the stitch because it had kind of curled a bit in. 4, 4, 6. Yep. So what are you guys having for dinner today? Is the big question. It's Friday. Here we are. It's usually we do salads on Friday or try to do some easy food. Not necessarily because so it's still out of season for the club, but we are gonna have a salad today, so it is like a mixed lettuce salad, and we're gonna do that with boiled egg and some tuna. So it's like gonna be tuna salads with cucumber and whatnot. Två, fyra, sex, åtta, nio. 1, 2, 3. It's Nacho Night in Canada. Doesn't sound bad either, actually. Family coming over, or is it just you, hubby, and home living son? Just the three of you guys tonight? Oh, but that's nice and cozy as well. I mean, doesn't sound bad at all. Oh. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. I'm making a big pot of pasta for the weekend. San Marzano tomatoes blitzed up in a food processor with onions, garlic, salt, pepper, basil, and oregano. Bit of olive oil finished with a bit of cream. That doesn't sound bad either. So I got the pointed cabbage for the cabbage slaw that I'm gonna make for tomorrow to bring with us to the grill party. Because apparently I can't call it a barbecue. We are making you hungry. Sorry, Susan, did you make any plans for dinner yet? I know it's early for you guys to make plans for dinner, but maybe you already made thoughts of it. 4, 6, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3. Look, it's one of the few things Americans can actually Europeans about. Okay, fair enough. I'm waiting for the garden to start giving me tomatoes, and then there can be chaos in my kitchen. The poor plants are so full that they're literally breaking branches. Oh my goodness. Well, my tomatoes are doing well. I did give them water today because it's warm. Hobby made himself a couple of liters, half a gallon of cowboy candy last night from the garden. It's candied jalapenos, pineapple, and pineapple essentially. Oh my goodness, that does not sound like the pineapple bit. I think I would, but the jalapenos, I think I'll kindly skip. Meanwhile, as I said, it feels warmer here, but maybe it's not. It's probably still around the 36. I don't know, 37. We are inching ever so closer to the 100 degrees. 37 degrees Fahrenheit here, which is 98 degrees Fahrenheit. Wind is blowing from west still, and the humidity is now up to 19, so we did up a little bit, but we are still quite low humidity here. I mean, it's warm, but rather have it warm with low humidity than warm with a high humidity, like if I can choose. He poured some pineapples. Meanwhile, it's gone a bit warm in Waco. We are up to 83 degrees there, so 28 degrees Celsius. Wind is blowing from south, and humidity is 79. That's kind of low for what we normally see. The weather in Winkler is mostly cloudy with a temperature of 62 degrees Fahrenheit. The wind is blowing from north at 3 miles per hour, and humidity is 77. Yeah, it already jumped 3 degrees there. I think an hour will probably be close to the warmest. 45 minutes to an hour. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. The question is, will we hit the 100 degrees Fahrenheit or not? And honestly, I don't necessarily need to do that. My temperature measurement tool over here might say different. It might say that we are higher. 2, 3. Again, it's calling it cloud. It's not the smoke from the fires in British Columbia. Oh no. Yeah. I'm not sure if it's based on a satellite or whatever, how it gets these temperatures, by the way. Two, 4, 6, 8, 9. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. We are definitely getting closer to where the quick bits comes. I mean, this bottom bit is feeling quicker because we have more where we crochet in the spaces. Nightbot just decided to spam our chat. Two, 4, 6, 8, 9. Yeah, it should be this one with 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Let's not forget to hydrate. I mean, it's warm. Actually, I think I do need to undo my. But we also gained like half a degree indoor or a degree, so that might just be the difference. But it was getting warm. Random non sequitur, but the wife and I was talking music the other night and got our favorite Hall and Oates song. Hers was Private Eyes, and since I to pick my had to pick mine stuck in my head, could be worst. She's gone. At least it's an old time banger. Yeah. Ah. I guess it's like, when we talk about look at the bright things, then I always go a little bit like Monty Python, not necessarily because I love Monty Python, but I think it's a great song. The always look on the bright side of life. Doo-doo, 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 doo-doo. But I do have a few songs that I really enjoy, and some people can make them absolutely great. The live version they did was incredible. Oh, sweet. The song is 53 years old and could be dropped today. Yeah, I mean, isn't it the same with Sound of Silence? Simon and the Garfunkel? That's also, I don't know how many years old. Um, but I feel more people these days know the newer version by other artists. I am in the minority in that I hate Disturbed cover of Sound of Silence. I think it's good, but yeah. What I actually think right now, and I think that's actually a cover if I don't remember wrong. Um, I'm trying to find it. Give me a moment. Yeah. So Miley Cyrus made the Nothing Breaks Like a Heart, but there's this Italian singer, a male singer, who makes a great cover of it called Damiano David, and he's a part of this Italian band that a couple of years ago won the Eurovision Song Contest. But if you just you can find it on Spotify, but also on YouTube sometime later. You'll want to find the cover by Nothing Breaks Like a Heart by Damiano because it's good. Like definitely, I think that's really nice. A nice cover. They instantly change the station if that comes on. Oh my goodness. Yeah, okay, then you really don't like it. I was listening to my son talking in a Discord call yesterday. He was listing his playlist songs. Nothing on it was newer than the 80s. He's 15. I mean, I have songs back from the 70s and 80s because that's a lot what my dad listened to. I mean, I could still listen to some of those music today. Not all of it, but some of it definitely. But all the music also have a whole different level of rhythm, right? You can't start the new music. The kids still know Tarzan Boy by Baltimora. Not familiar. Maybe I am, but not making it like click. Sometimes I think what also gets to be popular music is when younger artists takes the rhythm of older music and put that into newer music. So they get the permission from the artist to use bits and bobs of specific rhythms um, to put into newer music. There you go. Okay. I will listen to that later. "20 years ago, 435 million views. Crisis." Yeah, yeah, I'm familiar. Definitely familiar. But that's again, as I mean, I have lots of things I'm familiar with. I just don't necessarily know the titles of them or the artists. Uh-oh. I feel no, 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 no. I didn't. Phew. I thought that I had forgotten a chain, but that's this row. I need to pay attention just for a minute. From skip to blah, 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 skip to repeat until skip to repeat until one stitch before the middle. 2 double crochets, chain. And then we have those two. Chain. Skip 2. That should be right. Skip 2, that's over here. Yeah. You 100% heard this song before. That's what I said. Yeah. I'm more familiar with these, like, when I hear the tune, I'm like, yep, familiar. Currently my son's favorite artist is Bob Seger. Okay. At a period where I was listening lots to Bon Jovi. My favorite artist is a toss-up between Led Zeppelin and Pink Floyd. Both not bad. Straight up my dad's alley. He would definitely listen to both Led Zeppelin and Pink Floyd. So that's all the children. That's all the music I grew up with as a child. Oh, Metallica is good, no doubt. I mean, and I really think uh, now when we're talking about covers and collabs, when Metallica collabed with Miley Cyrus on the Nothing Else Matters, great piece of music. Used to listen to Metallica on the bus to school every morning. Lisa says, right up my alley too, except the Metallica bit. Yeah, well, I don't necessarily like all of the numbers from Metallica either. Another number that I really enjoy is what is they called? That's embarrassing. Um, Godsmack with Unforgettable. I don't like all of the numbers, but the Unforgettable is absolutely a gorgeous piece of music. Um, and if you have the opportunity, I would say sit down and just watch the official music video on YouTube. Um, it really gives you like it puts things into perspective. I really like that. Fade to Black is in the running for my favorite all-time song. Yeah, that's a good number too. Oh, but they have many good things. I mean, had too much Metallica in your teen years was just too much. I much prefer Alice in Chains. Alice in Chains is amazing. Rooster is my jam. I think it's always good to have a mixture of things. Everything can also be too much after a period of time. Da, da, da. A few newer artists like Weekend is always good. Mm. I have to say I've also like enjoyed Kensington and Bastille. They also make some good tracks in between. And we probably all just need to be open for new artists as well. Because that's why it's nice to listen to the radio because there's like you will get new stuff there instead of waiting for somebody else to play it and you're being like, what number is that? Or for that matter, Spotify sometimes can definitely also hint you towards new music. A few artists, Jane's Addiction is in my lane too. Addiction, sorry, Jane's Addiction. Not heard of those. Maybe I need to look up those. Suburban is also an interesting new artist. Okay. Rush, of course, is right up there. Lots of names for me that's new, so I need to go and check afterwards. Can't stand Rush. Sorry, that voice is nails on a chalkboard. Oh yeah. No, 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 no. Oh, you need to drive down the Rush rabbit hole. It sounds like I need to be open-minded but prepared that it could be horrible. Sounding, given you're at each your own sides of this. I mean, oh, and then we need to skip 2, 1, 2. 2, 4, 6. Oh, yep. Pretty, pretty. I used not to like Get Lee's voice, but it has grown on me over the years. Musically, Rush is amazing. Power trio that sounds like 10-piece band. Oh, I've also had a period where I did lots of Stained or Linkin Park, for that matter. I think it all comes like in periods. There's a period, and then I enjoy a specific artist a lot. When we are into the more extreme sphere of music, metal speaking, then of course Nightwish comes to mind. I think especially after they added a couple of years ago Flor Jansen to the lead sing. Oh my goodness, she is good. I mean, that is good. But she can also do some really amazing singing with or without a band around him. Not saying they don't have insane talent, I just don't like Geddes' voice. Fair enough. I guess we all have somebody we are like less keen on. His singing can be divisive. 4, 6, 8, 9. Zo, 3. Zo. Fleetwood Mac is your jam. Oh, cool. That is a name I'm familiar with, except I'm not like having music on top of my mind, but the name is familiar. Fleet Mac is a hit or miss forever. Okay. Well, there is always one number with many where we are like surprised that we actually like them. Two, 4, 6, 8, 9. Rev is more into Lindsay Buckingham songs? Okay. Need 2 more. Two, 4, 6, 8, 9. Yeah. Queen. Yes. Why didn't we even talk about Queen yet? What I really remember when we talk about Queen is Queen was playing in the background when they like during the Olympics in Barcelona. That's when they came with the Barcelona song. And I remember that being played on television when they were playing the Olympics on TV, which like wasn't many TV choices back then as a child either. And that's I guess when I started like slowly being like, oh, Olympics is kind of cool. 4 years later in Atlanta, I was like, Olympics is definitely cool. And 4 years later, I was like, I definitely wanted to like, oh, that is super cool. And then in 2004 was when I was really like being, that's what I want to do. I want to make it to Olympics one day. 6, 8, 9. And I did for 8 years later. So it took 8 years from the decision was made, that is what I want to do, to that fact that I made it. And that by any means was not easy. Brian May of Queen helped put one of the best movie scores out in years with He-Man. And The Doors. Also are normally, yep, definitely. The Doors also make great music. Two, 4, 6, 8, 9. Two, 3. My hubby used to be able to play Into the Doors song Spanish Caravan on guitar, but I don't think he can anymore. Well, that's probably a practice question. If he lost practice, then obviously no. But if he would start practicing again, he probably could within not too long. That's then a question of what do you value to spend your time on equally as much. Controversial opinion here. The Doors are overrated. They're not. They're good. They're not great. Yeah. Well, they did visit. No, that's not the Doors. I was thinking of the Course. Now, when we're talking about the Doors, you also have the Course, which is a girl group from Ireland, doing quite nice music too, by the way. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. He hasn't picked up a guitar in a decade, so he hasn't practiced. Oh, definitely not practiced. Out of practice, definitely. For me, I do not think the Doors make my top 100 bands or artists. Okay. Oh, here's an oddball band, Velvet Underground. Absolutely no familiarity here. Zero familiarity. But I do know that I have to rewatch this live and I have to, like, afterwards listen to music just to get familiar with some of it. Or be like, oh, I know. Why didn't I think about that? One, two, three. One, two, three. The Animals. The Rising of the Golden Sun. Yeah. House of the Rising Sun. Yeah. I thought actually House of the Rising Sun is an original The Animals, and the cover is they have a really good cover made by um uh FFDB, I think it's called, Five Fingers Death Punch. They made a nice cover of Rising House of the Rising Sun. Hope is a nice song from the Velvet Underground. It's an incredibly dark song, but it's ours. I'm sticking with you. Reed's voice is amazing. Okay. House of the Rising Sun was nearly 100 years old when the Animals released their version. I did not know that. But FFDP also made a really nice cover of House of the Rising Sun, I think, personally speaking. Two, four, six, eight, nine. It was a very old folk song from the deep south. Ah, okay. I learned things today. Ooh. 2, 4, 6. Usually the narrator is a woman, not a man. Ah. Anything Clapton is fantastic. Eric Clapton is he's done some good stuff, definitely. I'll never forget while we were still dating how he was goofing around on his guitar playing Stairway to Heaven, and my mom was in the next room bawling her eyes. Another good one. Oh my goodness, what's that band called again? It's a German band. Uh, Scorpions. Now we're talking old music. Like Wind of Change. We're heading into the old world. Feels like it for me. I know two German bands, Scorpions and Rammstein. Yeah, Rammstein is definitely also an obvious one. 6, 8, 9. Listria's favorite band is the Beatles. Her hubby proposed to her by giving her "I Wanna Hold Your Hand." Uh, and then she walked down the aisle to "Here Comes the Sun." Oh, nice. He's a throwback, but Stone Temple Pilots. Not familiar. STP is great. Uh-huh. I played House of the Rising Sun on guitar about 40 plus years ago. Welcome to Throwback Friday. Normally it's Throwback Thursday, but today we are at Throwback Fridays. Two, 4, 6, 8, 9. We are almost at the end of this row. Hallelujah. 4, 6, 8, 9. Pearl Jam. Yeah. Can't go to the 90s without some Pearl Jam, indeed. Plush, Interstate Love Song, Vaseline, and Creep are STB's big radio hits. Okay. Yeah, Pearl Jam is definitely also a band I'm familiar with. Don't ask me to put out songs I know made by them because I wouldn't be able to say right now, but I'm familiar. Two, 4, 6. Yep. Even flow, black Jeremy, yellow, let better. Ooh. Might have been a Canadian band, but I lived off the tragically hip in my teen years. Not familiar, so that could indeed be an overseas band that didn't make it to Europe. Red Hot Chili Peppers. The Canadian band. Okay. Yeah, then they might indeed have been Canadian, but I'm not familiar with them. Nothing like some CanCon, like tragically hip. That's for me is new. When the lead singer, Gord Downey, died, there was literally a national day of mourning for him. Oh my goodness. It's like Amy Winehouse. Everybody went in mourning. Not sure if they have any similar reasons though, but mm-hmm. 2, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. And that was this row complete. Almost. Well, I need one stitch, but I mean. And then we can turn the work. We're definitely getting to a point where we can't do so many rows because the row length is increasing. But I mean, I still think we're doing quite nice. Here we are definitely gonna stack some single crochets. And pattern, because before we continue, first we'll insert a stitch marker for me to keep track of the top stitch, and then we finish row 35. Important. Row 36. We need to do that. Skip 1, 1, 2, 8. So we're heading into 8 front posts. 2, 4, 6, 8. Two, 4, 6, 8, 10. It was to prevent Canadian cultures being subsumed by America. Ah. Stina, check out the song Wheat Kings and then look up the story behind that song. You think I'd enjoy the music? Wheat Kings. I will, as I say, I'm gonna rewatch this live and I'm gonna, I have to, and then I'm gonna listen to music. 2, 2, 4, 6, yeah. Because I can't keep track of all those names. We've talked about so many. Two, four, six, 8, 10. They just like staying mostly in Canada. They did not do a bit outside of Canada. Ah, okay. Or they did only, but just a bit. Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah. I guess if you don't like traveling, 2, 4, 6, maybe. Also, most of the music is from Canadian history law, so I don't know if the rest of the world would understood it if that matters. That's valid. I guess like there was a period where Runrig was super popular too here in Europe, and that's Scottish if I remember right. Rose says I already got the feeling that hip like being a big fish in a small pond. Maybe. Two, 2, 4, 8, 10. Because we need to have 10. We do 8. front posts. Gord was a weirdo. You can get good music with weirdo people, I guess. As for Canadians, I gotta go with Gordon Lightfoot. Mm. Yeah. So I'm not home half of the Saturday, and I guess I'll have to do other stuffs as well this weekend. But we'll have to see how the weather is. I mean, if it's too rainy, I am probably, if it ends up raining, regardless of predictions, I don't think, then might, if it's cooled down a bit outside, need to do some weeding in my garden. I mean, it's horrible in need, and I need to do some cleaning and laundering and all these boring chores. And maybe some crocheting. That wouldn't be too bad. Bit of crocheting. I actually realized that I have a pattern for another amigurumi, and it's by the same designer as the bat. It's just made in a different yarn, but I found it a bit funny. I didn't realize until like yesterday. Isn't Justin Bieber Canadian? Yeah, I believe he is. We don't like to claim him, yeah. As long as he pays taxes in Canada, I guess it's not bad. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. If You Could Read My Mind is one of the best breakup songs ever written, and is of course Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald is one of the most cultural significant songs ever made. The Eagles are my favorite group. The Eagles I'm familiar with. Like I know that I'm familiar with them. Again, don't ask me to pop up specific lyrical songs, but I know if I listen to them, I'm like, yep, that's those. If we're going to take up Canadian artists, we'll have to bring up Johnny Mitchell and Leonard Cohen. Leonard Cohen is a familiar name to me. So far, we've been doing front posts. Good, Stina. I was just getting in doubt. But yeah, the weekend is definitely creeping ever so closer. Not a bunch of plans, but I do have some plans. And yeah, of course, I have the grilly thing because I'm not allowed to call it the barbecue. 4, 6. And I do need to tomorrow morning actually have an appointment, but that's because I have promised my mom-in-law to bring her to pick up her bike after it had its service. She had a bicycle she brought to the service. I helped her bring it to the service yesterday, and that finished today. And I agreed with her on the phone that I could help her pick that up tomorrow. I think that would be nice for her that she does need to wait until next week also, as that's definitely she just enjoys riding her bike generally. I also think, and she's also admitted that herself, that after she moved a year and a half ago, She's starting to use her car less. She can do most things on foot, so that's nice. She does use her car, but not as often as she used to. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. That said, she's also getting older. Let's not forget. Leonard Cohen is amazing. Hallelujah is the song. Yeah, who haven't heard Hallelujah at some point? The last bit of yarn. I thought we might have luck to see a yarn change, but I don't see the knots. So it might have been too long into the stream before we had the color change. I mean, but it's okay. I usually make it through about 1-ish of this type of yarn. And I am pleased with the progress we have made. It's looking good. Definitely going more teal in colors. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 1, 2. The other side. Just gonna go down here. How many more do I have? I have one. No, I have 2 more. I don't have time for that. We are just gonna end this tip and insert a stitch marker, and then I can work on this later today. I mean, it's definitely not weather to go outside. I'd be roast. On that note, what we do need to check is, of course, my weather. Did we break 100? Because around now should be the warmest outside. Can go out and boil an egg on the hood of a car. Maybe. But not sure. Not sure. So, oh, that almost flew away. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 2 rows and some is what we made it to. Ooh, that was not what I wanted to do. Gonna check the weather here for last moment, and of course we need to get back up because it's 5 p.m. my friends. It is still 37 degrees Fahrenheit here, so 98 degrees 98 degrees Fahrenheit or 38 degrees Celsius. It's still warm as heck. I wonder what it says over there. Usually that's a bit warmer because it's hanging, but it's still hanging 2 meter high. There's a different version that's about religion. His voice isn't. Yeah. Have a great weekend, everyone. Thank you so much for you guys hanging out with me this afternoon. I had an absolutely amazing time, as I usually do in your company. Meanwhile, the temperature in Waco has increased to 30 degrees Celsius, so 85 degrees Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, blowing from south, and the humidity has dropped to 66. Maybe it's just like, do you get lots of mist or dampness in the morning? Like not fog, but like it's a bit damp in the morning, like the grass is wet and so on. Have a fantastic weekend. Stay stitchy. Indeed, as always, I had a freaking amazing time in your company. I thank you so much if you are started to watch the stream and you have gotten all the way to the end. Thank you so much for your support. Yeah, do. That was the word I was looking for. Thank you. Susan saying thank you, Rev. Bye, everyone. Enjoy your stitching. Rev says he's at a big lake. That makes sense. Hey, guys, love you all. I had a great time. And as I said, I'll be back on Wednesday next week. Monday, you will have our Sort My Stash edition. And Wednesday, we will get back on crafting together from 2 p.m. Central European Time, so 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, etc. Yep, you know the drill. Love you all. Take care. Happy crafting. Until see you again, either in another video or in another live. Bye.